Day 4 of Roland Garros is done. It's wrapped up, and I have to say, the most entertaining day of the tournament. What a day's play we had today. Let's get into it. Of course, we're going to talk about the men's and the women's, and then, of course, preview tomorrow's day's play as well. And I'll give you my predicted winners quick fire whilst we go through it. Before I do, though, do remember to smash the like button, please, if you haven't done so already. The big thumbs up button doesn't cost you anything if you're watching on YouTube, and do subscribe if you're new. If you're a podcast listener or watcher, please do leave a rating and review. Does help us out a lot as well on the podcast platform rankings. Same with YouTube, with the algorithm helping us grow. Do appreciate it. Right, let's get into this. Rafa Nadal, the 13-time champion, won in straight sets over Mute. A pretty smooth sailing type of victory for Nadal. Korda did the same against Gasquet. I did predict him to win, but I didn't think he'd win as comfortably as he did. Each set was pretty tight, to be fair, but wasn't expecting him to win in straight sets, actually, but glad that he came through and showing his worth for sure. And these are not the most interesting ones, though. We're going to get to them in a second. Dimitrov, he carries on his fantastic form. Bagel Coric as well. Great to see him playing so well on the red dirt. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how deep he can go. Van der Zandt Schlupp against Fognini, 6-4, 7-6, and then a walkover after being 3-2 up in the third. Nakashima beat Greixspor in straight sets. I actually had Greixspor to win, so that's a really good win for Nakashima in my books. Greixspor in really good form, and Djokovic beating Molcan in straight sets. Some people thought he had a lot of issues, I guess, with him. In the end, didn't. And then we get these absolute thrillers. Ramos-Vinolas almost beating Carlos Alcaraz, one of the top 3 favorites for this Roland Garros. And he had match points. He had a match point, at least one match point, Ramos-Vinolas. And Alcaraz saved it, ended up winning 6-1, 6-7, 5-7, 7-6, 6-4. Absolutely insane. Alcaraz does have this ridiculous fighting spirit. He fights till the end. Really good to see. But Ramos-Vinolas will feel really disappointed. His Spanish compatriot. Oh, Alcaraz. Didn't expect him to have so much trouble with him. And it's just a crazy game. And the tiebreakers make a difference, right? Especially that tiebreaker here. I think that swings it. And there's just a single break there. Then, of course, to be fair, he got the same back with the tiebreaker, but 6-4 is tight. And, of course, the breadstick in the first set. I don't know. If he has more matches like that, he's going to be knackered come the quarterfinals. We'll see. Second round, you've got here Schwartzman versus Manal. I said this would be a really, really tight match. Now, it was in the sense that I went to 5 sets, although Schwartzman doing pretty much what Schwartzman does, outlasting his opponents and winning 6-2, 6-2, 6-2 in the last 3 sets. It really was a match of 2 halves. Manal will be disappointed after winning the first 2 sets. And similar to, I guess, Musetti yesterday and Baez today, he kind of dropped his level after the first 2 sets. And a lot of these players who are not in the top 10, they struggle to maintain a top level for 3 sets. And that's why sometimes they take a set. They might even take 2 sets, but they struggle to beat and upset the seeds at times. And that's being highlighted, I think, in this tournament for sure, especially at Roland Garros where the rallies are longer, they're more grueling. So it's even harder to maintain it for 3 sets, I feel. And then Zverev, again, like Alcaraz, had to save at least 1 match point. And Baez played some phenomenal tennis. I did commentary for this as well, and it was a really good match. Baez, the first 2 sets, played some fantastic tennis. I hadn't seen much of him, but 21-year-old from Argentina, pretty small in stature, but he's a pocket rocket. He really is. Hits his spots on his serve at times. Came to the net as well, beautifully transitioned so nicely. Sometimes he just hit this fantastic forehand down the line, came to the net so quickly behind it because he knew it was a good enough forehand, and then just put the volley away. I was so impressed with his tenacity and willingness to come to the net. Also, the fact that he was able to hit was very backhand to backhand. Backing up the line is really good as well, really accomplished. And the first 2 sets, he played some really good tennis, really high-level tennis. Zverev didn't play particularly well in the first 2 sets, I have to say. But the third and 4th sets, Baez completely dropped his level. And it was reminiscent of the Musetti match yesterday against Stefanos Tsitsipas. However, the difference is that he did recover in the fourth set. Now, he was going blow for blow, managing to hold serve. In the end, he got broken at 5-all. That can happen. Not ideal, of course, given that he did so well to win the first two sets, but at least he put up a fight. He was competitive in that final set, so fair play to him. Zverev, a lot to be decided. Pushing the forehand a lot. I'm not quite sure where he goes. A lot of people saying that he has regressed. Subscribers and people who were listening to my commentary, and it's pretty hard to disagree in a way. I think he's going to have to really look in the mirror and kind of, I know he's been saying to other people, and he said after Monte Carlo or during Monte Carlo, I can't just push the ball back into play. I need to be proactive, I need to be aggressive, blah, blah, blah. But then since then, he's redone exactly that. He's been pushing the ball back, apart from that one match against Tsitsipas in Madrid in the semi-finals where I thought his forehand was really good. He was hitting it harder than Tsitsipas with more pace, more power, more precision. It's now kind of fallen again, and he's trying to look for mistakes. Don't know whether he tightens up in the Grand Slams at times. Maybe. I think he gets frustrated, but a lot to be desired for sure. Zapata Morales with an upset for me, beating Fritz in 4. Good win for him, though. Krajinovic beating Goho in 4. And Nori beating Kubla in straight sets. Good win for him. And look at that. Badin, really good win for him, beating Cuevas in 4 sets. He'll face Novak Djokovic in the next round. And, probably very good for Novak Djokovic is the sense that he will be playing 3 left-handers, because he just played Nishioka in the first round. Then he played Molcan, who's a left-hander. He'll play Badin in the third round as well. So that's 3 left-handers in a row with a potential quarterfinal against Nadal. I don't know who he'd play in the round of 16, but imagine even if he doesn't get left-handed, he still just played 3 left-handers. It's good practice. I'll tell you what, you won't mind it. You won't mind it at all. Delian versus Khachanov. Khachanov winning in 4 sets, and Felix winning in straight against Ugo Carabelli. A bagel as well, love it. Isner beating Barrera in 4 sets. Good to see him get a break of serve there as well. The big American, and he's actually got the best record in Roland Garros of any other slam in his career. He's won there the most times, so very interesting for sure, considering how potent his serve is generally. But I guess he gets a lot of kick on his serve as well. The teenager Parry beating Osorio Serrano in straight sets on the women's side. Gavrilova beating Kvitova. That's a big upset in straight sets. Didn't see that coming. Really good win for her. Great to see her marching on. And Anett as well, after beating, you kind of almost think, like, if you're going to beat the big players, then you got to kind of back it up. But Trevisan beating Linette, one of those things, right? I mean, Linette is a good player, but should be disappointed, I think, generally to kind of lose, given how she did so well against Ons Jabeur in the first round. Jabeur will be looking at that thinking, damn, shouldn't have lost that. Trevisan beating her in straights. Bencic beating Andreescu in straights. I thought it would be the other way around. Andreescu, though, outplayed, and a really good win for Bencic in my book. Bianca Andreescu in really good form. Krejcikova beating Tomjanovic in 3 sets. Got that wrong as well. I've got most of these women's matches wrong, by the way. Kirsty, man, she got bageled as well. Sloane Stephens beating her in 3 sets. Got that wrong as well. Fernandez, though, won in straights. Okay, got that one right. Siniakova and Kanepi beating Haddon Mayer in straights as well. Got that one right. Mertens got a walkover, and Goff beat Utvang in straight sets. Nisamova beat Vekic in straight sets. She'll play the winner of Sakkari or Makova. And you can see Makova actually beat Sakkari in straight sets, 7-6, 7-6. I have to say, that's one of the least embarrassing ways to go out. Now, it was a big upset. She's a number 4 seed. But to go out on 2 tie breaks is not... I mean, it can happen. It's a little bit unfortunate in a way. She'll be disappointed, especially because she lost 7-5, 7-4 in both tiebreakers. It was relatively tight. Don't know where Sakkari goes from here. She needs to find a little bit of a mojo back, because she's a really exciting player, but disappointed to see her lose. Kuba winning in straight sets, carried on her great form. Azarenka winning in straights as well. She's found a little bit of form. And then a big upset for me, Raducanu losing to Sasnovich in 3 sets, double breadstick for her as well. And Teichmann winning in straight sets, carried on her good form. Raducanu will be a little bit disappointed, but of course, she's a newbie on the clay, so it can happen. Then if we go on to Thursday, that's tomorrow, and the men's. So Ruud Savori, Ruud to win for me. Rune Laxonen, I'm going to go Rune. Zher, Medvedev. Kachin Gaston, I'm going to Gaston. Sousa, Sonego. Kecmanovic, Bublik, Kecmanovic. Fuchsovic, Cilic. TFO, Goffin. That's a tough one. I'm going to go TFO. Basilishvili, McDonald, I'm going to go Basilishvili. Kecinato, her catch. Ivashka, Garin. Simon, Johnson, Simon. Evans, Eimer, Evans. Rublev, Delbonis, Rublev. And Tsitsipas, Kolar, Tsitsipas. Carabas, Bayana versus Sinner. So that's my picks on the men's side tomorrow. And on the women's, we have Alexandrova, Begu, going to go Alexandrova. Kudermetova, Krunic, Kudermetova. Jean-Jean, Pliskova. I'm actually going to go Jean-Jean. Pliskova's not being in great form. Tell you what, she's just, anyway, we'll see. Pegula versus Kalinina, that's a great match. Going to go Pegula, but not with much certainty. Sharif, Zidane said, going to go Sharif. She's in good form. Why not? Badosa, Huvan, going to go Badosa. Volyanets, Rybakina. Conteras, Gomez versus Kasakina. Schmidlova, Kovinic, going to go Kovinic. Madison Keys, Caroline Garcia. Swiatek versus Alison Risk. Swiatek. Halep, Zeng. Georgie Potenseva, Collins, Rogers, Brengel, Sabalenka, and Cornet, Ostapenko. Oh, that's a tough one, I'm going to Ostapenko, but I don't know which way that one's going to go. Quarterfinalist Cornet last year. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to smash the like button if you're watching or listening on YouTube. Do leave a rating or review if you're a podcast listener, and we'll see you tomorrow for Day 5's roundup. And of course, we'll have some more news bits, post-match reviews, etc. as always. And keep an eye out for the watch-alongs as well. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe for a while, and we'll see you on the next